I am the creative director of Zashadu. I am 30. I was born in 1982. I have a 6-month-old son, and Lagos is my favorite city to live in. The journey. Zashadu is officially 7 years old. It started in 2010, and the journey that I took towards getting it started up was a very informal one. It was based on a need to create something that I'd had in me for a long time, and I wanted to see it come to life. And so I didn't have any plans. I just knew that I wanted to see my designs in real life, and so I started trying to create them to the point where I perfected it. And by chance, somebody saw the design. I had the design with me in a meeting I was conducting, and somebody saw the bag and fell in love with the bag and paid money for the bag on the spot. And that was when I got that payment, I immediately reinvested it into the business. So people often ask me, how much do you need to start a brand or a bag brand or a fashion brand? And for me, I think it can be a very low entry point, because I just took that money and put it back into the business and made a few more bags, and it just grew by word of mouth, on a word of mouth basis. And I think what kind of drew people to the brand, apart from the design, is also the quality. So I think that's something that people should think about. You have to kind of have standards that you yourself adhere to, and it has just grown like that. It's grown it's spread like a wildfire, just from one to the other to the other to the other, and it keeps growing, and I'm very grateful for that. Yeah, of course, there are many challenges. Just like everybody who lives in Lagos knows, it's a city. It's that's just one of the defining things about the city. It's a challenging place to live, to raise your children, to have a business. And for me, I think the challenges only serve as things I need to overcome, and that for me is the most exciting thing, because in my nature I'm a problem solver. So when I see something that poses a challenge, it excites me to create a solution for it. So I don't know how I've overcome the challenges so much. I think the main thing, the key thing for me, is having a flexible mind, being adaptable, and not being set in an idea that you want. For me, I have the rough idea, and then I feel my way through it, and I drop something that doesn't work, even if technically it should work, even if in a business book or you've heard somebody else that's very successful say that it should work. If it's not working for me, I drop it and find my own way. So I think having a strong sense of who you are and a strong sense of what your business is helps you find solutions to your problems, and having a can-do attitude and not thinking, oh, the problem is Nigeria. In the Western world, before they got to where they are now, it's a long journey, and you don't just wake up and build roads and build wonderful places and build, the problems come, and then you solve them, and then you find a solution, and it becomes, when the solution works, it stays, and everybody does the same thing over and over again. So I think if you think of yourself as a pioneer or as at the forefront of something, then you should know that it's a lonely place. You're not going to have friends or people telling you all the time what you're doing is great, but that's how you make changes. So you need to be comfortable being by yourself and trusting your own instinct, trust your own abilities, and those are the qualities I think you need to overcome challenges. That's a funny question for me, because the peak moment happens every day, and that is when a client discovers our brand and reaches out to me and says, I want to purchase this. Without, we've been based for a long time mainly online and social media, and only now are we kind of going into having a physical space that you can actually come and see the things. So everybody has wanted a bag based on what they've seen, a picture. Most people, some people would have seen it in real life, somebody carrying it. And so to make that leap, to say, I'm going to give you some of my money so that you give me what I've seen in the picture. And then when they receive it and they are in love with it even more than what, that for me is a peak moment. That for me is really where, you know, the customer relation is very, very important to me, and it means a lot. And so every time somebody reaches out to me and says, I want one of your bags, I love your bags, I'm like, wow, I can't believe this is happening. So for me, that's a real, those are my peak moments. Well, for the Zashadu brand, my aim is I would love for us to employ a lot more people than we currently are employing, to provide jobs for people, because that's something that is a source of pride for me, that I'm able to employ men who, through the work that they do with us, feed their families, send their kids to school, are comfortable. It's very, very important to me. It's bigger. It's like an extension of my family. So I'd love to do that more. I'd love to extend the invitation more to women, to provide, to make it more comfortable for them to work in a way that they can stay, because it's harder for women to keep women in our company, because the work is very hard. It's a lot of manual labor, and women at the, you know, without the woman in the family, it can't function. A man can go off and come back, but a woman needs to stay. So it would be great to be able to overcome that challenge, and also kind of empower the woman to make her an equal earner in her family. For me, I would love to just keep doing what I'm doing. As long as it continues to pose challenges for me, I would continue to be invested in it.